So this is me this morning. I would guess from the way that my hair is that she decided to do some hair cutting. She's got like a bald spot going on over there where she's just taken a little too much and got a little too zealous. Um, so yeah, another night of being assaulted and having my home broken into and having my animals terrified and my lip feels like it got cut open. That's the gas being applied straight to my face to an open wound. That's really just not going to heal now because of the need for them to put gas straight onto my face like that. And that is just, when you pour it in to the environment, it's always going to be getting on my face. So, yeah. I'm, dazed, confused, drugged. Very drugged. My body feels like it got beaten with a bat as usual. Waking up to that feeling has become a commonplace, especially the pain in my lower back from the sodomizing. Yeah, I just feel, like I was partying on super hardcore drugs. And I'm all just fucking wiped out. So I have a neighbor who I knew was facilitating in the way that they were allowing or had knowledge of the situation. And it's one of these things that probably I should have been just not having any sort of hope in humanity, that they would be not the super, super rapers like the other ones. But last night, they've had somebody staying at their house the last couple of nights. It's probably been a week. The drugs, they sort of make everything. So it's probably been a week, maybe more. But at least a week, I guess. And I thought maybe, because this is funny how your brain works, and I'm sure like people who have been kidnapped and captured and, they go through the same stuff of just having all these moments of thinking, I wonder if this is a moment I could have hope. Sorry, I gotta smoke a cigarette because I'm so unawake, so drugged. I thought maybe that one of the people that lives in that home was thinking about, because she's a female, thinking about the fact that maybe she could possibly become a victim of these people because they're rapists and they've been hanging out in back of her house for months, and now she knows who her neighbors are, and maybe that was all new information, and that would be really disturbing for her, and she would want to not be a possible victim of them, and would feel doubtful if anybody would be like, oh no, we won't do that to you because they're rapists. So I don't know, I just had this like hope that was obviously all in my imagination. This is when people say that I'm imagining all this. I think, no, I pretty much only imagine that I'm going to get helped. Those are my moments of. So, anyhow, last night it was very clear that from that property there was someone directly on the other side of that fence, and using the toxins when I was out the front, and then more than likely just as soon as I came in the backyard, they were right there and super loud, and super obvious it was a human and not something else. So yeah, I'm guessing that vehicle belongs to somebody who is a rapist, who has been deciding to come into my house and rape me. So their decision was to instead, acknowledge who they were and, maybe think about what choices they were making in their lives and not doing harm to another person. And they have animals, so that's always weird. And maybe feeling like not slowly murdering animals is a good idea. But yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong, and if I had to bet money on the person who drives that vehicle being a rapist that has illegally put their body parts inside my body, at this point this morning, I would sadly bet that they are. So, but now I'm just pretty much just wanting to let my body just give out already. There's only so much raping another, a human being can take, and sodomizing and just victimizing at this kind of level. There's only so much torture the human body can take. There's only so much anesthesia you can be given on a daily basis. So yeah. So I did take a picture of that license plate and a picture of the vehicle and email it to the federal prosecutor's office in Honolulu, Hawaii. And also wrote in that email that I'm very aware that the feds have to know what's going on. I know that the Army intelligence guys in Hawaii did for two reasons, because they involve the sovereignty, and when you involve a group that openly opposes the U.S. government, who takes them to court and fights them all the time and, fights the military bases and everything, there's just no way that the Army intelligence guys, would not be keeping an eye on a group of people that state that they're being occupied by the government and that they've been overthrown. There's just no way that the U.S. government wouldn't just keep an eye on them and keep tabs on them. And then I had a little chance meeting with a U.S. Army intelligence officer at a park, where he kind of gave me the lowdown about how, and he wasn't, bullshitting. He was a U.S., Army intelligence guy. And he just, wow, the pain in my private parts is pretty intense, and the bruising on my bones, and all that pelvic region, pretty painful. That when the anesthesia wears off a little bit, there's more pain, of course, because it reduces pain. So, and if I took a shower right now, I'm 100% sure my vagina would just be excruciatingly painful, because they put numbing cream down there when she does her torturing. And I know that the goopiness, but mostly I know because when I take a shower and then I wipe all that goopy stuff off, that the pain is just explodes. It's just from experience. It's not from